Yay. Hey guys, we're back. It is episode
Episode
15,
15. That was so in sync. I love it. Okay.
and we're going to be doing Zoom. This is like soft launch to this summer when we're going to be physically separated, I guess.
So sad. Wait, but emotionally, we'll still be fulfilled, so it's okay. But I know we have a short episode tonight. You can only stay until 8:10 question mark.
I don't have like anything like immediately pressing after, but I really need to do some work. And so I was like, let's block this out. So
Okay, okay, I'm glad. Okay, so we can
we
take
can,
as long as
let's do
we
like 25 minutes.
okay, we'll cap it. We'll cap it at like let's just cap it like 8:20-ish. Like
That's
a
30 minutes.
30-minute conversation.
No, don't bargain. It's 25.
Okay. We'll see how long this conversation takes us anyhow. But I have the questions from Dara pulled up. Now is a good
Oh my
time for me to get
goodness.
into them. This
Okay.
is like an interview because I see you on like the Zoom screen and like I know we're about to get asked questions. I'll have to take turns answering and like you have to go through the weird Zoom etiquette where like you can see someone's mouth moving and you're not sure if they're about to speak or not. But I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, like we can't interject because that like it feels different to interject on Zoom. Like, you can't do it as casually.
Yeah, but that's okay. Okay. We can just start off with, look at this. I made my font size smaller, by the way, but you can still see it. It's just like this giant like text paragraph. So we can just start from the very beginning. What do you have to accomplish during your life to feel content? And likewise, what do you have to accomplish during your 4 years here at Stanford, assuming you're here for 4 years to feel content?
I think I'll start with the Stanford question first because I've been giving it a bit of thought. And I think I really want to walk away, one, with an offer for a job.
I
I,
was like, stop, roll the tape
I
back.
I very much feel as if that's number one. Even having a degree would not matter as much as I think leaving knowing I want to do something. Um, because I think that's first and foremost the primary reason why I went to college, to give myself the skills necessary to navigate what the real world would be like. And then secondly, there might be a tie degree, okay? But also, I want to leave with the very strong social circle that
Mhm,
I can depend on no matter where I go. I
mhm,
think I will find myself in a metropolis, so it might become a bit easier, but finding myself if I were to be in a smaller area or definitely in a quieter pace of life as I devote more to work. It's so
mhm,
important to have people who support me and are at stages of a relationship where I don't necessarily need to be investing in a routine
mhm,
and continuous amount to maintain.
mhm. No, that's a good answer. I would actually like to push back though and say that I do not think the purpose of college is to prepare you for a job. I
Mm,
think I think it's to teach you to learn how to think for the real world. And I can kind of elaborate on this. I think with jobs, the majority of skills you'll actually learn while you're on the job, right? Like sure, you can, and honestly, college doesn't even teach you practical skills for workforce in that like we don't have a finance major at Stanford, so if you're coming at this from a finance-y perspective, that almost like is a moot point because you're not really learning how to excel or like how to like financial waterfall or anything. But otherwise, I think the point of college is to teach you how to interact with like a diverse set of well-rounded people, and how to use the resources that you're being given. I think Stanford is great because it'll offer you no shortage of resources. But for me, the most important lesson that I think I've learned so far, even at our first year, is how to be intentional with the resources you want to use and how to know like when and how to reach out because they'll be there if you reach out. But it's a question of how exactly do you want to use them? When exactly do you want to use them? And I think the people is also, it sounds so cheesy, but I think it is an important component too. But I really liked what you said about like having a network of people you can depend on, like no matter what. Wait, and actually, this is why my conversation with my friend today, dinner was so long. But I was basically debriefing. Oh my God, I have so many updates for you. This might become like an inadvertent update episode. But I went on like a quasi date yesterday, and that made me
my
realize
date for your
Big Little
sorority?
League. Yes. Wait, I didn't know it was a date until he asked me like if I would ever date a guy in the military, and I was like, what?
Huh?
I'll
Is he
explain.
ROTC or something?
I'll explain. He's from your dorm. I like Loki did not mess with him that much, but like it's okay.
In
Um,
my dorm?
yes.
You give me some hints and I can't wait.
But basically, when I was asked that, I was like, okay, shoot, like I don't actually see myself in a relationship at Stanford, period. Like
Wow.
literally, I was just like, I really
This
don't.
goes against everything you've previously said, Carolyn.
Wait, okay. I was talking to my friend about this. Like the reason why I'd want to be in a relationship is so I can fast track that level of human companionship that I miss from being like surrounded by my family. Like to understand someone so intimately and so well that you can walk into a room, look at their face, and know exactly what they need to hear or like what they need to do like at that time. And I've really craved that feeling of like really close, like tight-knit family, like companionship that I feel like I like get facsimiles of here at Stanford, but don't quite get like on the dot. And for me, in my mind, for some reason, a relationship is just an abstraction for that. But what was my original point? I think it was something about people, right?
Well, now I need to hear about the blind date. We
Okay.
can go
Ugh,
we can go on a tangent. I need to hear this.
okay. Wait, I don't know how much I can name drop, but
Oh, wait, you don't have to
like,
name drop. You can do features that
okay.
I would know.
First of all, he was not my type. I think it's a little bit cooked. And second of all, like his personality, like I think we get along just fine, but I think I also get along with the majority of people like just fine. Like I don't feel like I'm like a colicky person, so to speak, in that sense. Um, but what I realized is that like I really, really need to be friends with someone before I can even think about like dating them. Like I need to already feel like a very close level of like kinship or like bondedness, because otherwise I get cold feet and I'm like, oh, like commitment, like what's that? I think I'm just a fearful avoidant. But basically he has aspirations to be in the military post graduation or like at some point in the near future. He's low key about that. I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. Then he dead ass like first of all, I was expecting to go on a date with my twin. Okay, I thought it was a dinner date with my twin. Didn't expect this random ass guy to come pick me up. And I also like had changed my plans like very last minute. I told my big, I was like, oh, I'm actually gonna be free like at 5 today. Like my meeting got canceled, and she was like, okay, I'll find you something to do. So I did something like really cutie, like go to like Color Me Mine because a lot of other girls were at Color Me Mine, and I was like, okay, fun, like I'm excited. Um, and then I get picked up and I'm like, okay, first of all, I love Tofu House. We went to Tofu House. I love Tofu House, so I can fully like never have a bad time at Tofu House. Like as soon as I got into the car, I was like, this shit's gonna be platonic. Like I'm sorry, like this shit's gonna be platonic. And it wasn't until the point when he asked me if I would ever consider dating a guy in the military that I realized that he might not have thought it was platonic. Or like I can't tell. Like for me, it was like fully like a plate. It was a plate through and through and through and through. But like I don't know if that was translated, and that just made me think about the fact that when it comes to the people here at Stanford, I feel like I just want to get to know as many people as possible. Um, but I don't know if that is conducive to just knowing like one person like super, 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 super well. So I would not get into a relationship unless I feel like one, we are already very close because of friendship, but also like I have no straight male friends. So that low key is not happening. And two, wait, what was the point of all of this? I don't remember why I launched into this
Asked you
tangent.
about your blind date. You gave me no
I
details
did give
about
you
this person who's in my dorm, so I
he's in
100%
your
know.
dorm.
He's
He's
in my dorm.
in your dorm. He's
Is
in
he
a frat.
Asian?
He is Asian. He's not my type, I fear.
I can think of two people who are Asian and in a frat right now. Are they tanned or pale-ish?
Tanned, I think.
And are they, okay, never mind. I'm not, this is like, guess who, you might need to text me after because the person I was thinking of has no aspiration to be in the military.
Well,
Uh,
that you know of.
no, I know everyone in my dorm though.
He's also, you're in Larkin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Larkin. I don't
We just
know.
dropped the like the
I
Addy for
did
the,
drop the Addy.
but I'm moving
Dox
out of
you.
this place in
It's
two
true.
weeks.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about was we get our housing slots like this week, no?
We gotta figure that
We gotta
out.
wait, we gotta map this shit out. I need to ask, I know someone who lives in Toyon right now. What are the ideal like Toyon room numbers that we should
Wait,
do?
are we saying Toyon's first choice?
She told me to go Toyon first.
Okay, and then
Told me to go
Toyon
Toyon.
only two, like one like doubles though, right? Like no randos.
They don't they don't have doubles. So I think we Loki might just have to brave it with the rando. And just pray. Literally just wait, hold on. Okay. What are the best Toyon configurations? What are the best Toyon rooms? And I'm gonna ask my twin. I'm gonna ask her what are the best Chromem rooms.
Wait, why would she know? Is she a sophomore?
Yeah, she's a sophomore and she lives in Chromem.
Oh, sweet. Oh, do you have an idea of who your big is? Like, do you think it's
I think I know who it is.
do you
Wait,
think
can
it's
you
the
also
person you wanted?
I think so. I think
Oh,
so.
good.
But I don't want to confirm anything for certain, but like the my potential twin is like a factor in consideration, and also because she gave me this like bridal veil thing because I told her that I was crashing the Phi Psi Aphi wedding, and she wrote, "Little birdie told me you might need this on Wednesday."
Ooh, okay.
And it's like a little like,
That's a good sign.
wait, like yeah. And I specifically told this one person.
Hmm. I saw the texts.
Wait, yeah. Oh my God. Please drop room number. Oh my God. She got back, thank God.
Oh, she's quick.
She is quick. She did be quick. Wait, but yeah. So I might be crashing a wedding this week, and we'll hear updates about that. Wait, but the other thing I realize is like I think like I fundamentally am a fearful avoidant, and I literally live to just fuck around with random people. Like I love friendships because I can still achieve like a very close level of companionship, but likewise, I can also still like fuck around and like do whatever I want, and like I'm not chained to one specific person. Um, but the other point, oh, that's what it was. I was basically talking to my friend and I was like, yeah, like I don't know if I can do commitment. But she was also saying that the point of a relationship is like you're specifically in it, so you have like an express reason, an express circumstance in which you can get to know like someone else very, 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 very well. And that's like what it's kind of about. Bless and amen. She's checking the room numbers because we need to lock in on that housing, bro. We're getting
Sure. Okay, we're messing with the random. What happened to Chrome M? Do we just think it'll be busy? But
I think
honestly, everyone I know is trying for Toy On too. So
the
they
Toyota
might be good.
higher demand, so we might just have to go with what's higher demand, and like chances are Cremon will be free. So we'll just like go boom boom. You know what I mean?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Um, yeah. But that was my tangent. I don't remember exactly what the point of that was because I was talking about people and like people being the best part about Stanford, and
Like
then
we're still having our first question. Okay,
your
so
first
my
question.
mention was okay, I don't think I'll get um the skills for a career necessarily or like directly applicable like work skills, but I think that my to be content, I need a job offer. Like I would like the degree, the credentialism in order to give myself like
Wait, Elizabeth, you're getting a job. You're graduating from Stanford and you're not majoring in CS. I feel like you're guaranteed a job.
yeah, but is it a job that I want?
Oh, so you just want a job that you want. Like that is the asterisk, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, any
I
fuck ass job you want. Like,
that was a given. I could be a McDonald's cashier tomorrow.
yeah,
Maybe. Maybe
free will is a beautiful thing. You could
it
if you
is.
wanted to. But I feel like most Stanford students, once they like put their minds to something, typically they're able to achieve it. Like they'll be able to see the plans to fruition or like see the like aspirations to fruition.
And then
Yeah.
also, what is your ideal for life?
My deal for life. I've actually been asked this one or two times, and I'm like, you expect a 19-year-old to be able to tell you right now. Mm, I think on some level, let me think about it actually. Um, think about what it means to live like a fulfilling life versus like a satisfying life. I feel like there is a distinction. Like there are certain things I need to do to have a satisfying life and that like I feel like I've accomplished like what I've set out to do. But to have a fulfilling life, like it could be completely different. Like for me, fulfilling means like I'm enjoying what I'm doing now in the present. Like it fills my cup. Like it makes me like emotionally as a person happier and like satisfied. Versus a satisfying life is something that I can look back on retrospectively and I'm like, wow, this bitch did some shit. You know what I mean? But I don't know if I can curse that much on the potty, but I think a satisfying life for me is measured more so one in retrospect and two in like quantitative or like numerical output. And
Mm,
a fulfilling life is measured in terms of emotionally how satisfied I feel by what I've done.
yeah.
And I think my that's to preface this by saying that my, I guess, desires slash methods of evaluation will differ between the two, but to have a fulfilling life, I think I pretty much do just want to, no matter what I do, I want to get up and I want to feel excited about what I do. And I want to make sure that I'm surrounded by people that I love and people who love me. And then for a satisfying life, I think I want to have tangibly done something where I can point to something and say, like, well, I did that. Like the work that I did directly contributed to that, and that I've made a lasting impact on the world, not in the grandiose sense, but in the sense that I was able to serve as one part of something much larger than myself. Yeah, that's my answer.
Fabulous. I think
Yeah.
I resonate with that. Like distinguishing the between satisfying and fulfilling is quite valid. And I think that when I think about an ideal life, most Stanford students especially would gravitate towards the latter. Uh, like a
Satisfying
satis
or fulfilling? Yeah, satisfying. Like I've done something like that other people can look to. Wait, there we go. I think that's what it is. The distinction is satisfying, something that other people can look to, and like they'll be like, yeah, she's done a lot. Versus fulfilling is like I can look deep within myself and say like, you've done what you've needed to do, and you're doing what you need to do right now. So maybe that's the distinction. I don't know. Yeah. What about, do you have like anything specific though? Because you have an ideal job. You went dead ass, like I'm coming to the school to leave with a job offer that I like. So I think you have some vague notion in terms of what you want to do.
I have a vague notion. I think that, I mean, currently I believe it's in the finance industry, but we know I've been deliberating industry. But I understand that it needs to spark, um, I don't know if passion's an overused word these days. I understand that work can't be your everything, but I'm in this American productivity culture and I understand that work is likely going to be my life in hopefully the best way possible. And I want that to be a positive experience where I'm continuously like, challenging
Mhm.
myself, be it through leadership or creativity or in the analytical sense. And I think that doing my best to discover a career that aligns with that. And I think I also have check boxes. I think it needs to be a level of um, there needs to be a level of job security, which is especially rare in this day and age, and um, likely more so on the lucrative side, to prove as a good ROI for coming to this school.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be so honest with you on some level, like what I need to do has to have a certain level of prestige. Because I've like in high school, I was used to being someone who like I did what I wanted to do, but what I wanted to do also just happened to like sound impressive on paper too. And I was like, wait, this just is like extra incentive for me to keep on doing what I do. And like I'd already have been doing it, but the fact that it's like socially acceptable to other people helps a lot. Um,
There's like a positive feedback loop.
I think there's a
What you're
positive.
doing is reinforced by others almost.
Yeah, but what I do can't only be motivated by that one fact. Like if what I'm doing is what I'm doing only because I think there's some level of prestige associated with it, then like I think that's a moot point. And I think that's just it's cooked from the start, so to speak. So I guess for you, what are the most enticing aspects about working in finance qualitatively? Because
Mm,
like you can talk about, like you can talk about the money and like yeah, sure, like that's so logical. But like you also mentioned that you wanted to feel challenged per se, but I think no matter what career you choose, you'll have the opportunity to challenge yourself. So I don't think that's specifically isolated to finance.
mm. I think that I agree that money plays a factor, but I don't think money can be the sole decision maker to any decision you play because it has such impact on your mental and physical health. However, I think I've grown up thinking that finance is a very suitable career path for me because I've really enjoyed the humanities and I enjoy current affairs.
Hmm.
And I think that building upon those ideas and working in finance is an opportunity to nurture those interests and then also play to my interpersonal skills and just affinity for, I think, overall, some of the aspects of the position in that sense.
Then why not work in policy? Or why not work for like why not work as a journalist per se?
I think for those careers, the major difference is your audience and who you're working for. And so naturally your mission at the end of the day is different. In finance, there's a fiduciary duty, but that also means you have a degree of control about who you're answering towards. And I think in policy, that's a bit different because you have your constituents that reside wherever you are locally, and the responsibility to answer to the people in such a broad way, I think invites so much scrutiny that it makes me hesitate. And secondly, I am American, but I'm also from all these different places. And so that gives me a bit of hesitance to lock myself down in either or.
Mm.
And I haven't yet felt a pull to work for an international organization like the EU yet. And so that's that there's been a hindrance there. But I think that Policy's been interesting because the more you work in it or you learn more about it, you learn how disjointed it is and
Mhm.
how there's so much room for growth. And then secondly, I mean, thirdly, for journalism, I think that erases the check mark I did left for finance under job security. I think it's a profession that's becoming, I think, wildly phased out because the traditional media figures are losing their prominence and influence in sort of the public spheres with the coming of social media, I would say.
Then what about law? Or working for an international agency like the UN?
So law has been like option D and E for me. I think that
Really?
should I graduate and learn through these summer internship experiences, ideally by summer one or summer two, that, hey, finance isn't for me, then I'd be more than willing to sort of explore law further.
Hmm.
Um, but again, law gives me some hesitancies. It's a similar work structure if I were to work in big law to finance. And so I think there's a degree of similarity there. But again, restrictiveness with the bar exam. If
Hmm.
I were to do it in California, that means I'm in California. And there would really be no opportunity to leave the country past that because
Hmm.
it'd be learning an entirely new legal system.
Yeah, that is interesting. Actually, I had not considered it from that perspective. So, what you really prioritize from a future career, and we're talking about maybe the satisfying pillar of what we said in terms of like life satisfaction broadly, it's going to be one that you feel like you can exercise a lot of the strengths that you have in terms of being like interpersonal and also being able to exercise your passion for foreign/political affairs. And two, it's more so the sense of like financial stability and also this like component of there is a level/degree of respectability to what you're doing. Is that accurate?
For sure. And I think that also kind of like shines when I speak that I've recognized is I really value control, which is
Mm,
ironic considering the treatment you receive in finance.
that's true.
But I think that the career is quite interesting and unparalleled for the amount of optionality you receive
Hmm.
following your first 2 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And so it is really an educational opportunity, in a sense. But I feel like this is a bit of a therapy session. And so I'd like to kind of turn it back on you, Carolyn, and hear more about your, I think, I think career is equally important in your life. And I'd love to hear more about this prestige element. And so you currently seem to be intrigued by VC.
Yeah.
And I think that what's interesting with VC is that there is a bit of an unequal relationship between a VC and in general startups and
Mhm.
companies. It's quite interesting that at the initial starting stages, if you were to choose seed or such, you have all the leverage
Mhm.
as they're simply budding organizations. But especially as you jump up to ABC series, the entire relationship flips on its head. And it's more so VCs chasing to become sort of the incumbent relationships and really um, build these stories with founders since day one. And so I'm kind of curious what spot in the funding structure you'd be interested in and where you'd sort of see yourself in that. Because I think especially for seed, that being in a VC at those stages is really compelling or intriguing
Mhm.
because you get to listen to stories and the power being in your hands as the quote unquote investor, which is why the buy side of finance is so like is aspirational for many. It's because of that influence.
Yeah. I will say I definitely am not into VC for like being able to experience the shifting power dynamics that come along with moving along the cap stack. For me, I think why VC is like one, it's a novelty to me in that like I came to Stanford, I had no clue what venture was. And then all of a sudden there was venture to my left and venture to my right. And the natural instinct to me is like when I notice a lot of buzz around something, I'm inclined to figure out what's going on beneath the surface. And so I think I'm very much still in a stage of exploration. We'll see if I even like what it is, or we'll see if I feel called to it. Because like I've been told by other people, and this is almost a thing of like where when you look for something that's like self-affirming, sometimes you do tend towards looking at what other people tell you you think you should be hearing. And so for me, I've gotten feedback that like, oh, you seem like you would like to do VC or like you would be a good fit for VC. And so that has kind of been this like positive feedback loop. Maybe for you, it's like with finance, there's a prestige element to it, and people tell you like, oh, like you feel like you would fit for finance, so you automatically correlate your own qualities to maybe like the qualities of the industry you're like looking to enter. And so I think for me, it's I haven't done good enough of a job of extracting like the two or separating the two. But what I really like about it so far is that like one, I do just constantly get to meet a lot of interesting people. I get to meet a lot, like so many interesting people. And like that's my favorite thing about being at Stanford is just my proximity to a lot of interesting people around me. Just being able to have like different conversations and like explore new ideas in depth. But two is the fact that like I don't think I would found myself, quite frankly. Like if I find the right idea and at the right time, like then I would and like it would yeah, but like for the time being, like I don't think I would found an I like a company like in the traditional sense. Like the most I would do is like found like a bedrock for other founders to use per se. Um but for me, it's also like I still like to be in the ecosystem. And just because I'm not being an active participant in the builder ecosystem doesn't mean I can't participate in it. I think VC gives you a unique vantage point because you have to spread your efforts out across a lot of different companies as opposed to doing just one. I think for me, that was refreshing and it meant that I could still feel involved in that way. But two is that like I don't know exactly like what part of the cap stack I want to be on, but it almost makes sense for me to kind of move from earliest to like later stage. So I get to see things along the full like pipeline. Because for me, it's very structured to enter at a later stage. Like PE is very well defined. IB is very well defined. What's not as well defined is VC. And so for me, because I know that there are less existing structures and resources for it, I feel like I should be investing more time specifically into looking into those areas. So because I know like recruiting will happen for finance by sophomore year, that means my freshman year I can focus on what doesn't recruit for finance or like what doesn't recruit your sophomore year. And that just happened to be VC. And like that was one thing that I had exposure to on campus. I was like, you know what, like sure, like we ball. Um, so yeah, that's kind of been the mentality. But we'll see where all of that goes. Like quite frankly, like I don't even know what's happening half the time. Like I'm gonna be so honest from the surface level, it seems like I kind of know what spaces slash niches I'd like to occupy, but in actuality, I'm continuing to explore everything, and you know what, that's okay. But I think the great thing about Stanford is like no matter what you do, they'll come out of it and they'll be like, oh my God, it seems like they had a calculated way to think about how they were going about what like how they're going about everything when in actuality it's just like a lot of exploration. But low-key, we can just LARP. We can just LARP and we have the freedom to say that we knew what we were doing because people just assume that you do because you go to Stanford, even though that's not the case. But those are a lot of my raw thoughts. Like, would this be socially acceptable to say out loud? Like, no, people would probably be like, oh yeah, she's fake and like she's just like LARPing hella. But I don't know, just a lot of unstructured yapping for now about like broadly how I've been feeling about this, but especially because the school year is about to end, I've had to actually ask myself, like, what is the game plan for when I come back to campus next year? So, yeah.
Definitely. I think sort of as a wrap up, both of us are feeling lost is not the right word, but we understand that this is not final form in our perspectives towards life and what we value. And
Yeah.
so, of course, it's going to be a journey. And Stanford has so many opportunities, and so it's such an amazing opportunity
Yeah.
to be able to receive these little tasters and understand what speaks to us. All of us have non-negotiables and come from different backgrounds, and we're all so unique. And so there's an entire world awaiting for us that we previously hadn't considered.
Why did that feel so PG? That felt sanitized.
What else should I say?
That felt
Carolyn,
sanitized. You know,
Carolyn
like
and Elizabeth are chasing that bag. Is that what you wanted?
low key Carol and Elizabeth, final form equals prestige whores. And like, what are you gonna do about that? Like, can
We're
I
a
be so
product of our
honest?
education.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, can I be so honest for a second? Like, the way that a lot of us got into this school is because we went along with whatever we thought was like socially acceptable slash like socially advantageous in the sense that it would look good for college, but also like, hey, like if we enjoy it, like all the better, right? But now it's like I have to ask myself, like, what is the balance? Like, this is the first time in my life where I do things purely because I want to do them and not because like they're serving an ulterior motive. 'Cause I have the rest of my life to figure out what that ulterior motive should be. But this is the first time ever where like my actions are not constrained to a short-term timeline. It like logistically, yes, they are because I only have so many years on this campus. But in terms of playing like a long run game, like I kind of just do whatever I want to do right now and like trust that it'll work itself out in the future. Because do I have like a plan to get from point A to point B? Like no, because the structures already exist, right? Like for finance, like I go and I recruit. Like quite frankly, like that's just how it is. And like I study. But in terms of like what I'm doing right now, like there's not as much of like a tangible connection, and that's totally okay as well. So I don't know. Yeah.
For sure. So it's unstructured. And I think we're all just trying to find our purpose. Like purpose has been such a big thing in my
Do
in
you think we ever have like like just one purpose for life though?
I think it's constantly evolving and people are free to define it however they please. And so
Yeah.
it's finding your purpose, not finding the purpose. I think I've run into a lot of people around in my life, and this might be just me selectively listening, but I've heard plenty of individuals getting really honestly meta about it and
Mm,
asking what is the meaning of human life and society. And
mm,
I don't think us as individuals within that sphere are in the place to question that sometimes.
mm. Interesting.
It's because humans are, I think, in my opinion, are a bit like mo like they run in and are kind of can be stuck in momentum. And at the moment we're
Hmm.
we're we're cycling through, and it's hard to sort of change or steer that ship, especially with like climate change. It's been so challenging to
Mm.
overwrite some of these established norms.
Wait, so do you think you're stuck in a system right now?
I think I put myself in that box. I think that should I have like there are individuals, especially in the 80s or like during the key protest movements of the world, and I think especially like Vietnam War protests because those were so centrally
Mhm.
university driven. We are not currently sustaining that culture, that environment to have a student body that would respond like that for crises of that significance. That makes sense. So I feel as if there's a system in place that is killing this.
But do you think you're stuck in that system? Like you
I
specifically?
am part of that, 100%.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, we might want to table that one for
I
next.
think we will have to table that one because I know you also have to run and like, why do you work on during week 8? Like that's kind of crazy to me.
I have P sets because I had a midterm yesterday, so that means there's a lot of
Well,
catch-up
become
work.
50, yeah.
And then I have an essay. So
Wait, I feel like Stanford is not a good place for long-term content long-term content reduction or retention. Like I have not actually learned anything like this year.
oh,
Or
we
if I
put
do,
that one on the DL. Don't let the parents
I
find out.
know, I know it's bad. Like I've learned how to socialize and I've learned how to like make the most out of my resources in terms of like networking and just like meeting cool people. But in terms of like academics, I learned just enough to survive until the next midterm and until the next final, and that shit drops from my mind like flies.
It's so easy because of like the short nature of this, like how quarters work, it feels as if it's less of how maybe a semester work, where
Yeah.
there's like a balanced amount of time you allocate to each class each day, and more so like it's 100% focus and quick pivots between each
Such
test.
quick pivots. Such quick pivots. I'm sick and I'm tired of it. I'm sick and I'm
Wait,
tired.
2 weeks, baby.
Do
Let's
we
go.
know the finals and then we're free and then we have to go recruit next year? Like, I don't want to do that. Wait, when are you gonna start your recruiting prep? Because like low key, I'm not locked at all. I'm
I
not
keep
whatsoever.
saying I should this summer, but I would actually be so open for us to get on Zoom calls together to like force us to work. Because I think that in
Yeah.
the summer it is so easy for me to table for later. Because
Wait, but
this
like, how much prep do we have to do? It's just freaking like excelling, like LBOing. Like, no, like it's all just like memorization.
that's what I thought. But I think
It's
that
just
to have like a
that's
thorough understanding, you need a bit more.
yeah, I guess that's true. Or you need to know how to talk about certain experiences, but we can table that for later. I know there's something we need to address off the record. So we can maybe, oh, actually, in terms of future structure, it seems like we are able to yap a lot from just one question. So maybe we can keep the structure in that we choose one question to dissect, or if we have time, we'll do two, like no stupid questions, podcast style.
Mm,
And then we can just, yeah. So we'll just have the question as the opener, and then we'll kind of discuss that freely, and whatever weird tangents we get to, we get to. But yeah, I think that's good for this episode. What do you think?
sounds great. I definitely stayed over, but that's okay. That is
Okay,
okay.
it's okay.
Okay. Carolyn, check your text. I want to know who
I
this was.
know. I did see. Wait, stop the recording. Stop the recording.
Okay, bye
Pause. Pause.
guys.
Pause. 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 Bye, guys.